Good evening there, and welcome to our live reactionary podcast for Gameweek 14. I'm with my good friends Steve-O and Jason, just reacting to all the action from Gameweek 14 and looking at our own teams, looking at how we've done. And yeah, so we're just going to get into the live reaction with the results today, which Steve-O is going to take us through.
To be honest, I didn't even know what the scores were until about half an hour ago. So Chelsea won 2-0. Hazard only getting an assist.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I can't believe. I just noticed. Sorry, Origi's just scored in the 96th minute for Liverpool. Sorry to butt in.
Good. I mean, clean.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was still playing for them.
1-0, is it?
Yeah, it's 1-0 final score.
Hey. So, who got the assist is what the main talking point is, do we know?
There's no registered assist. Hang on, I can't see an assist for Origi. No, I don't think there was an assist for him.
Are we on YouTube? Are people chatting if we can?
Yeah, we got a few people. Brett saying, what a roller coaster Super Sunday. Notorious Nerd's in chat as well. Hello, Notorious Nerd. Hang on a sec. I'm just looking now, and yeah, Pickford assist. Yeah, right. It might well have been actually. I haven't seen it, but I'm looking forward to watching it back. 2:15 a.m. here, worth staying up for that. Wow, you definitely went for a treat. It was good games. What a Sunday of football. But anyway, sorry to butt in, Steve. I know you were in a flow. I do apologise.
All I'll be doing is going over today's results and yesterday's results and just going over just the basic talking points coming out of these games. So Arsenal, of course, Dan will be, well, we'll let him speak. Overjoyed with an incredible 4-2 victory. When someone at work told me that it was 2-1 Tottenham, I was just like, yep, I've got that prediction right. I said 3-1 Tottenham, and then, I don't know, and then I found it was 2-2 and I was thinking, oh, it actually ended 2-2. All right, let's find out who scored. Oh, Aubameyang twice, and then about 10-20 minutes later my mate went, oh, it ended 4-2. I'm thinking, what the hell was going on here? It's just crazy. So Dan, you must be over and of course Kane gets another penalty. That's his 6th penalty in 7 games against Arsenal. Good game to watch.
Fucking brilliant game to watch. I'm still buzzing from it, excuse my language, but yeah, it's just been an incredible day of sport and football in general. And yeah, I mean, you always talk about the history, but let's be having it right with Tottenham. They've won twice at Arsenal in the Premier League. And yeah, I have to admit, the first half, it was tight and it was a very, it was a proper derby game. And Son was looking really dangerous in that first half. And I was quite, at halftime when it was 2-1 to Tottenham, I was thinking, well, you know, maybe Son could be interesting, but I was still quite pissed off. But yeah, just an incredible game, and certainly Aubameyang's looking good with Aguero not starting for Man City yesterday, and I'm looking at possibly changing for another big budget striker, if you like, premium striker, should I say? And yeah, particularly the second goal from Aubameyang. Obviously, the first was a penalty. Tottenham. You'll never be as good as Arsenal. So that's what I've got to say.
You say about the history. I mean, the history was you'd won out of the 4 home games of the last 6 fixtures. You'd actually won 3 of them. So, and bizarrely, in the last 6 fixtures, there was only 13 goals scored. And in today's match alone, you got basically half the amount of goals scored over the last 6. So it says it all, really. So, looking back on yesterday's games, or even Friday night game, I woke up at 3 a.m. Oh yeah, it was the Cardiff game. Might as well check what happened. Oh, there's a lot of points going on here. What's going on? Doherty got a goal. Jimenez got the assist. It's just you wake up to it, and you're just like, don't get me wrong. Then my next thought process was, oh, I got the score right with a 2-1 thing. But yeah, so 2-1 to Cardiff. Wolves still on the downer here. Crystal Palace beating us lot, Burnley 2-0. Now, looking at that defence of Crystal Palace for myself, we'll look at our teams in a minute, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka, certainly on my radar. I've already got my transfer plan for the midweek games. Brighton winning 2-1, and my goalkeeper, not crisis, but my goalkeeper pick in Matt Ryan has really failed me. I originally was going to go with Fabianski, but I just wanted to be a differential to Jason, and it's completely backfired. Fabianski has been running away with the points, whereas Matt Ryan, he just doesn't get any save points. Is there any reason to this? Are they just conceding their only shot on target or something, Dan? Do you know?
So yeah, it did seem like it in that game yesterday. But yeah, I know what you mean about goalkeeper crisis. But then I was actually going to switch to Fabianski yesterday. It was or Hennessy. But I was scared of doubling up on Crystal Palace assets at the back. But Schmeichel managed to keep a clean sheet. Leicester just took apart Watford, didn't they? Really.
Get to our teams in a bit, but Schmeichel in your teams just seems to be one of the most consistent players, bizarrely.
Yeah.
Talking of Leicester, they won 2-0. Jamie Vardy, but Maddison back in the points again after being injured and the red card and everything. He finally come back to scoring ways. Could he be in our thoughts again? Now on to the main talking point: Manchester City, Sterling. Most people, if they had the cojones to do it, so to speak, they all captained Sterling, came through. Sane got an assist. Anybody that was thinking of doubling up, I was thinking of it, didn't do it. He got an assist. And Callum Wilson will be coming off the bench for many people, including myself. But no Aguero, Dan, injured apparently. Or do you reckon it's a fake injury where he's going to be saved for Watford?
I don't know. It was just I was speaking to Jay about it yesterday, and when he said about Aguero not playing, I just felt sick. So it could be one of those ones where he's thinking ahead of this Christmas schedule. I mean, even like going to Glenn Murray back to Brighton, he didn't start the game yesterday, and seems as if Aguero, they've not wanted to take a risk with him because it's a home game against Bournemouth, which Bournemouth played pretty well actually. To be fair, they should have had a penalty, but maybe he's thinking with a long schedule ahead not to take a risk. So could be the case.
Well, West Ham winning 3-1. Philippe Anderson. I didn't even know they won 3-0 until today. I thought they won 2-0, and then I was just like, where did Philippe Anderson get 10 points from? And then I realised, he scored. What's going on here? And, of course, Arnautovic getting an assist, but that man, Jason's man, must be very happy with him, Jason. Mr. Fabianski getting you all those. Got a 0 last week, but yesterday got 8 points for you. Is that right?
Yeah, he did. Got the saves. He's got great fixtures coming up. A lot of managers got him in. Well, I'm not going to start talking about my team. We'll get to that in a minute. But I had a few. It seems this week was all about my defence as well. It looks like I got a solid. Subs. Yeah, well, yeah. I got lucky with the subs, and very disappointed with a couple of players not playing. But we'll get to that. But yeah, Fabianski, great option going forward.
To be fair, Jason, you say about not having certain players playing, but do you really think they would have got you? I think it was Cedric people. Jason has Cedric.
What a guy!
Cedric.
Did you see?
Jason, when I was listening to I literally, as I was showering for a night out, I literally turned the radio on to the point of where Cedric's lining up for a free kick. He's lining up like Ronaldo, and I instantly said to myself, I bet he scores. And then lo and behold, he scores. And after my shower, this is how fantasy football's taken over my life. I went straight to my phone and I was like, right, where is Cedric on Jason's bench? And of course, because is it Bennett that didn't play for you as well?
Yeah, Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett didn't play for you, nor did Aguero, obviously. So you had Wilson coming off the bench. That's 6 points. And 7 points for Cedric. I was just like, when your luck's in. You're locked in, but like you said,
it's good bench options, isn't it? It's good budget options, really. I mean, when Cedric that free kick yesterday, I was just like, Jay must be really annoyed, but also really happy at the same time because his team loses the fact that he's got points for defender scoring.
You say about bench options, but Jason's had these two players for weeks, well, almost since the start of the season. Never played them once, I don't think. And the only time he seems to get points off them is when he doesn't start them, they come off as sub. And I just question you, Jason. Have you ever thought about just getting rid of them, or are they just going to stay there for the rest of the season?
Is it worth bringing my team up on the screen? 1 second. Give me a moment, guys. Right,
we'll do that in a minute. We're nearly finished with.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Your team's first anyway. So just to conclude, Jen. So yeah, Cedric with that, and Lukaku potentially a possible Aguero replacement. He came back last week. I believe he got an assist last week. Is that right?
No.
No. Oh, I thought we did.
They drew a Palace, didn't they? He got assist in the Champions League of sorts.
Oh, it was the Champions League. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, improving, but
yeah. So we'll get straight into it. Jason's team. If Jason can bring it up on the screen, hopefully it'll be quite a simple process.
Yeah, I've got
it. People will have noticed we're on a different platform at the moment. We're actually using Skype today, and hopefully this screen sharing will be a lot more simpler than when we use on. We normally use Google Hangouts, isn't it, Dan? That we normally have.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Experimenting with new things to improve it for you all. So,
how you guys in chat? If you're used to our old podcasts, how's the camera quality looking? How's the audio sounding? Let us know. Give us the feedback because we're looking to always improve the stream, and it's nice to see some new faces in chat as well. Hi Leslie, hi Brett. Double return after the 2 benched first 11. Nice work, Jason. Thank you ever so much, Brett.
Just to add, Brett, he is 900 and where is it? 996 in the world. So it just happens, really, isn't it? When the old luck's in. But any luck with bringing up the screen share?
Yeah. It's all. It's up, mate. It's just on this. You can't see it. Yeah. So.
Right. Okay. So we'll go through it then. So Jason got 51 points, but. He was on 51 when I looked about 20 minutes ago. I think that included the Trent Alexander-Arnold clean sheet, but including I think it's 13 points coming off the bench, you're going to go up to 64, but we haven't included bonus points, and I'm guessing that Andy Robertson's going to get his standard 3 bonus points and Trent Alexander-Arnold may get a couple, but Fabianski, as people will see, got your points there. Trent Alonso, I don't know if he'll be getting any bonus or not today. I doubt it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's a player that I'm looking to bring in. Happy with your transfer, Jason? Sterling captain?
Yeah. Was Hazard getting the lucky assist towards the end. When I say lucky, I only say lucky because he's not in my team anymore. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out bringing in Sterling. There's a few. I just, as we're talking about my team, I'm a little bit upset about Mourinho's treatment in Martial. I think there's something going on there with the contracts, obviously stalling, and I think that there might be a bit of a case of limiting Martial's minutes in the meantime. But when he came on, his body language seemed a little bit like, I'm playing for the last 13 minutes of the game or something like that. I can't remember exactly how many minutes it was. And he just was just like, his body language was like, I'm on the field, but I'm not going to do anything. Like, you could see it. And I was like, oh my God. It was a couple of weeks ago, he was on fire. And everyone was like, this is a great United option.
To interject again, I asked you at the time, this was when Lukaku wasn't playing. Lukaku's back. Do you think that's had any bearing on this?
See, I was trying to say last week that having Lukaku in the team, being a target man, it should actually make Martial's life easier. But you might have something, you might be right about that because, I mean, yeah, he only played like not many minutes at all, like 13 minutes or something yesterday. So I can't really, it's not a great sample size. But you might be right. He might just be just sticking on the left-hand side now and not interested in making dart and runs in because he's trying to get crosses into Lukaku who trips over. So yeah, there's that. There's David Silva. I think he's going to play next Tuesday. Aguero, I think he's going to play Tuesday. There's a conundrum which I've got now because having watched the Arsenal game, absolutely amazing that game was. What a derby day we've been treated. I see a lot of people will be thinking about Aubameyang now, and he's been ticking over. He's been ticking over all season long, and he's doing really well. He's on good form. And up until today, I was thinking, oh yeah, Harry Kane, game week 15, Harry Kane, and I don't know now. I don't honestly. I think he's cheaper than Kane. What? And then I've got the issue of having Mohamed Salah in my team, and I'm sure everyone in chat who's got Mohamed Salah in their team is thinking, is it really worth it? And I think every game week I'm asking myself that question: is it worth it? And I think he's walking on very thin ice right now. He's got Burnley next.
Well, we're gonna do. Dan didn't actually mention in the intro, but we are gonna do our preview for the midweek. And let's just put it this way: from my point of view, Liverpool are going to batter us. I've got it down as 4-0. Probably going to be 6 or 7. That's if Salah isn't benched. And yeah, I wouldn't be getting rid of Salah just yet. I don't think for his favourable fixtures. But sorry, Jason, you were saying about your team.
No, but I mean, as a whole, I'm happy with my team. Who wouldn't be with the points I've got this week? I mean, yeah, I got a bit lucky with the bench. I'm not going to deny that. But it's still a pretty solid team going into next game week. So yeah, in a nutshell, I wasn't expecting anything from Mitrovic. I wasn't really expecting anything from Wilson, believe it or not, but he returned. Wan-Bissaka I was quietly confident about, but for his attacking threat as well, not just his clean sheet. But yeah, going into chat, guys, because we've got a few people in chat. We've actually got the highest amount of viewers ever at the same time. We're at 15 viewers, guys, which is awesome. We've beaten our concurrent viewer record so far, guys. So Leslie in chat saying time to get rid of Salah, lads. And as what you just said, Steve, I think it's one of those where he's under the spotlight, and I think it's last chance saloon for Salah midweek. But we'll go on to that. Brett says, I've already read that bit out. Notorious Nerd says, Martial and Lingard should start next game. Should being the key word, should start next game. But with the Mourinho, as a United fan, with the Mourinho, he can always throw a spanner in the works. We've got Leslie's now asking, guys, thoughts on Ryan Bennett after his no-show? I don't think he's dropped. I just think that was just a game for rest. I don't think it was a case of being dropped, and especially after the
plus he's a 4.1. I wouldn't be panicking about even worrying about getting rid from your team. I would just that there are more bigger fish to worry about in our teams, like we'll talk about soon with Salah.
One Live Soccer TV, hello, welcome to the stream. I think it's the first time you've been in here, but welcome. He's got 60 points this week, overall 902. Oh my god, just a bit ahead of me there. Nice.
Oh. I'll do a classic Steve-o, which is, are you 902? Let's try and look at your FPL history first. Prove it, but we can't. We'll take your word for it. 902, amazing.
Wow. So Brett Mollison says, this is the first FPL season. I'm loving the streams, guys. Great quality. This is my first time in live due to the time difference, but I've been watching them ever since I found your channel about Game Week 6. That's awesome, Brett. Thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant.
It's really cool. Brett. It's really cool that you guys are just chilling out with us. And we've got a great opportunity to get your ideas, share our ideas, because at the end of the day, they're all our own individual ideas and opinions. There's no magic wand that any of us can wave and say, yes, bring this person in, it's going to propel you into the top. Because
I'll give you a magic wand though, Jason. It's Pep Guardiola saying that Aguero's injured, and you get those linking points off the bench. I mean, if you want to bring up my team, Jason, we'll just quickly rattle through mine and Dan's team. So I don't know where I am in the world. I was 45,000th in the world. I had 52. It will go up to 58 with Mr. Wilson coming off the bench. Alonso getting me the clean sheet. My double up of Liverpool defence is really paying off now. Although ironically, when I originally did it, I was kind of contemplating ending it, but it's now completely gone round. However, I will discuss it in a minute. I am thinking of getting rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold this game week, thinking of it.
Really?
But things like Jason always says, things change game week by game week, and it's already changed today. So I may not have to do that transfer as of yet, and I can get rid of some dead wood called Goodmunson in my team, but we'll get to that in a minute. Sterling, my one transfer, I thought it was the most obvious transfer to do. I did go into, ironically, I did that move because I re-listened to our podcast and I just went, Steve-O, listen to your own advice. And I just did it. I just thought, don't hit the panic button or anything, just go with your own advice. Did it, and it's paid off nicely. And Arnautovic getting me, and of course Wilson there. So if you want to bring up Dan's team, he's done very well this week as well. In fact, he'll probably have the same amount of points as me, to be honest with you, 58. Dan, if you want to talk about your team, so Schmeichel, like I said, the most consistent player in your team. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Doherty, Friday evening, and of course Sterling captain. So go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I had an ominous Facebook message on Friday evening from a certain Dale Bellamy, who's just above me in the mini league, and he said, "I see you in my rear view. I'm watching you very closely." I was like, "Blimey, this is a bit ominous." So I was, sort of aware of the fact it's a very, important game week, and I'm actually starting to make a bit of progress this season. But I think like Jay said before about defensive returns. This week it's all been about defensive returns, and Doherty, Wan-Bissaka, that's just been sat on my bench forever. And I was like, right, I'm finally going to play this guy, and clean sheet. And to be honest with you, Palace, they just battered Burnley. Sorry to mention that. But it's a bit frustrating about Glenn Murray not starting. He is 35, so obviously he's not going to play, even though he scored in the last game, he's not going to play every game. So that's something I've got to be wary of. And obviously I've still got Pereira and Richarlison. I wasn't really expecting many returns from Richarlison today, but I'm got a good fixture against Newcastle. But I've just need to tinker with this a bit because Pereira's deadwood. But generally speaking, Trent Alexander-Arnold got me some returns. Pretty happy with the game week. It was a different formation for me as well, actually, 4-3-3. But obviously Aguero not playing wasn't ideal. But just glad that I captained Sterling, because I was so tempted to captain Aguero and go with the safe option. But I followed your advice, actually, because of his history against Bournemouth. And I think talking about forwards and this conundrum about Aguero, this injury, and thinking about options, my initial plan was to get Kane in, but now I'm like, Lukaku scored again, Aubameyang's done well. I mean, nothing will give me better pleasure than to bring Aubameyang into my team and he's getting points in my team and scoring for Arsenal. That'd be great, but it's going to just see what the next day or two unfolds and digest it all, I think, before making any reactive decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the history there, and like you said, we'll do our famous preview of the game week coming up. And for anybody that doesn't know how this works, myself and Dan and the history go up against each other. Now, the history I classify as the last 6 fixtures played between each represented team. And I also give a nice little statistic, which is a common theme that happens within this fixture over the key being last 6 fixtures. Last time out, myself and the history, we got 5 outcomes right. I, though, however, got 2 games spot on. So that's another point marker to myself. And myself and history are on 6 wins apiece for Dan's measly 3. Now, Dan does what we call a dead cert bet, where basically he chooses a fixture in which he believes has got the most chance of basically winning. And let's be honest here, every week he chooses Manchester City and occasionally Liverpool. It's worked. Dan, I'm just going to assume who you're going to be putting on this week, but we'll kick it off straight away. And we start with West Ham versus Cardiff. I think West Ham have got a bit of confidence going now. It's a very nice morale-boosting 3-0 victory against Newcastle. Although, weirdly, I don't think that form's that great at the Bowling Ground, or the Olympic Stadium, sorry. I think they'll edge this game. I think Cardiff has got a bit more about them now. But I think West Ham have got a bit more quality. I'm going with a close 2-1 win. Now, the history is going 2-0. There's been 4 2-0 victories to West Ham. And in this fixture over the last 6, West Ham have kept 5 clean sheets against Cardiff. So, once again, history's going 2-0. Dan, how do you see this game, West Ham versus Cardiff?
Yeah, great win for West Ham yesterday. And a great win for Cardiff, of course, on Friday. Yes. Yeah, great result for them. Hernandez getting 2 goals for West Ham yesterday, which was he seemed to be the focal point of the attack yesterday. And now it's a bit sort of drawn back. But yeah, I think West Ham after that morale boosting win, they will sort of carry it on, and I think it will be 2-0 to West Ham. And that Felipe Anderson, I'm so annoyed because I wanted to get him in, a couple of weeks ago, but I was no, I need to keep the money for Glenn Murray, and all Glenn Murray's done for me is got a goal last week, so I'm a bit, and I know that Dale's got Felipe Anderson, so yeah, frustrating.
So the next fixture, one of 3 games that the history has a lot of goals in, and it's Bournemouth versus Huddersfield. I think Bournemouth will be okay after the Man City game, based on what you said. They played relatively well against City. I think it's Huddersfield. They've done okay over the recent times, but I think they were brought back down to earth, losing to Brighton. Although, am I right in saying they had a man sent off, Dan?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, bit of
going on the history, I thought that rang a bell, and yeah, in the Huddersfield Brighton game, that's now 4 red cards out of the last 7 matches involved.
Meunier was the person who got sent off.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a little bit harsh, but letter of the law. Yeah.
I mean, I think anybody with Bournemouth assets, keep them for this game. That's why I'm glad that I'm keeping Wilson for this. That's why, in fact, the fact that I didn't do my 2 free transfers, because I saw this game for Wilson, and I thought, you know what, I think he'll get his scoring boots on again here. I'm going 2-0. History's going with a 4-1 win. There's been 24 goals involved in this fixture. Incredibly, 2 victories for Huddersfield have been 4-1 and 5-1. There have been 2 4-0 victories to Bournemouth, and 3 victories in total out of 6 for Bournemouth. Like I said, Bournemouth 4-1 the history's going with. Dan, what do you think for Bournemouth?
My home team. I think Bournemouth are due a win, actually, because they played really well against us last week, and they played well against Man City yesterday. And as you say, Callum Wilson, he's scoring in the big games, looks full of confidence, and yeah, I think Bournemouth will win. I think they'll win. I'm going to go 2-0 to Bournemouth, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On to the next game, they say a local derby, but whatever. Like the M40, M25, M60 derby, whatever it is. But whatever. The point being is Brighton versus Crystal Palace. I personally think this is going to be a bit of a drab game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. The history's going 2-1 to Brighton, though. There's been 2 victories apiece. There's been 4 clean sheets in this fixture. But the last 2 games, there's been none. But there's been 1 win apiece. And both of those were when Crystal Palace were at home and when Brighton were at home. They both won their respective games last season. And yeah, the history's going 2-1 Brighton. Dan, any confidence out of this game?
I think it'll, but I'm going to steal your prediction. It literally popped in my head before you said it, 1-1. Like you said, I think it will be quite a sort of tight, scrappy affair. Palace are picking up a bit of form, so they could possibly win. But yeah, I'm going to go 1-1. Brighton are pretty good at home.
Now then, we'll be able to hear Jason's voice in a second. I'm assuming he'll be chatting away to people watching, which is cool. And it's Watford versus Man City. And of course, this is a fixture which is going to contain a few captaincy options, let's be honest here. And I'll tell you what, listen to this history. It's worth noting down. I was thinking in my head, I'm sure Man City have got a really good record against Watford. And the simple answer is, yes, they do. So I'm personally going to go with a 4-0 victory to Watford. It's gone on the downside. I don't know. That's like they did anything. But I'm going with a 4-0 loss. History's going a 3-0 loss, but the last 3 away games for Man City have contained them scoring 13 goals against Watford and only conceding 1, and 2 of those games were 6-0 and 5-0. So yeah, Dan, what do you think on this game, Watford versus Man City?
I mean, Leicester battered Watford yesterday. They just ran them into the ground. I think Isaac's Success had one chance. And actually, Pereira did have a chance as well. But generally, Leicester were just all over them.
Just to interject, Dan, what a misery that bandwagon was to bring in him. Christ.
Yeah, it didn't really work. I don't really think it's his best position. But I think 3-0 to Man City. And I think I'm being a bit generous there for any Watford fans watching. So, but yeah, it's just to stick with Aguero or not to stick with Aguero. But, I don't know. He's got a good record against Watford, I think.
Sadly, I didn't have enough time to delve deep into the research here. But Jason, what do you think on possibly Aguero or Sterling as a captain pick?
I think both Aguero and Sterling, assuming they play the game, will be in with the chance of getting a double-digit haul. The question on everybody's mind is what 3 City assets are going to... Well, if you own 3 City assets, are they all going to start? That's your main dilemma. And if you own Sterling, you've always got that doubt that he might be rested. And if he does, do you still throw the captaincy on it? Well, sorry. If you have that dilemma and you think that you might be rested, do you still throw the captaincy option and then maybe vice-captain Aguero? Like I just said in chat that I'm going to be all eyes on Aguero. Like any news or any sort of leaks or anything like that, because it's most likely going to be a rest. This minor muscle injury. But it is a toss-up between Sterling and Aguero for me, personally, or Salah. But Salah's not in form at the moment. He's not really keeping up with City assets, especially for the price. So he's on my hit list. But Burnley is a fixture which he could turn up the heat. So there's going to be a lot of thinking over the next few days. There'll be a lot of analysing. But this game, Watford City, I'm going to agree with both of you. I don't think there's going to be any surprises in this game. I think it could be 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5-0 to Man City. Watford might grab a goal if they're lucky. But it's going to be a game week of, did you own that Man City asset? Did you own? It could be Sane. It could even be Bernardo Silva. There's so many players that can get points in that team that it can either go amazing or it can be an absolute disaster.
It's certainly in my opinion, a mid-game week dilemma for many. I think there's going to be a lot of different captain choices this week, and I'm hoping that it's going to be one of those weeks where all the captain choices cancel each other out. I reckon a lot of them will cancel because there's a lot of favourable fixtures. A lot of them more further down this list, to be fair. But certainly a game next up, which I don't think anybody's going to captain somebody. But so Everton's just lost 1-0. They've got Newcastle at Goodison Park next. I think that Everton are gonna. I think they're going to do Newcastle here. I think it's going to be a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory. I think they've kept 3 or 4 clean sheets in a row at home or something like that. I think they'll edge past Newcastle 2-0. History's going 3-0. Everton have actually kept 5 clean sheets in the last 5 fixtures, funny enough, in this game. There's been 3 1-0 victories to Everton and 2 3-0 victories, and they were both at home as well. The history's going 3-0. Dan, faith in Richarlison for this game?
Yeah, I think I'll stick with him for one more game week because it's quite a favourable fixture. And as you said, Everton's history against Newcastle was pretty good. So on that basis, I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Toffees.
Now on to the next game where Ken Hazard redeems some of his fellow owners. They're away at Chelsea. They're away at Wolves. It's Wolves versus Chelsea. I think due to just Wolves' recent form, I think this is going to be a comfortable 2-0 victory to Chelsea. It's just going to be a standard routine victory. History's also going 2-0. Chelsea have 4 clean sheets versus Wolves, including a 6-0 victory in back in 12. There's also been 2-0 victories involved in this fixture. So, Dan, over to you. Wolves versus Chelsea. Going to be playing Doherty.
You know what? I always predict a result every game week. And I'm going to go for a draw in this game. The reason being is Wolves' record this season against the sort of like the traditional top 6 teams, i.e. Arsenal, Man City. I mean, they scored twice against Tottenham in the second. I know they lost 3-2, but they nearly brought that game back, and they drew at Old Trafford as well. So I think Wolves is a team that's good on the counter-attack, and Chelsea didn't look amazing. I know they got the win, but didn't look amazing. So I could be way off the mark with this, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. But I
don't think you are off the mark. I mean, Wolves have really good results versus the superior teams.
Their style of play, it's very counter-attacking. Traore, Doherty, Costa, all these sort of players, sort of suit that counter-attacking game. Whereas when they play like Huddersfield or Cardiff, it seemed to come kind of undone a bit in those sort of type of games. So that's what I'm basing it on. To keep Doherty in, I'm not sure. Maybe. I haven't decided yet.
On to the fixture in which Jason believes this could be a last chance saloon for Salah. It's Burnley versus Liverpool. I have got not a hope in hell of us doing anything. However, history suggests possibly otherwise. Surprisingly, not in a battering kind of way, just in a more respectable result-wise. But I think Liverpool are going to have some fun here. We're going to let them have about 30,000 shots. I'm going 4-0. I think could be 6, could be 7. We are absolutely atrocious. And I don't know what on earth's going on, but we are pants. Yeah, I'm going 4-0. History, though, suggesting a very tight game, mind. Going with a tight 2-1 victory to Liverpool. In fact, Liverpool in the last 6, the most goals they scored against us is actually 2. The last 3 fixtures have been 2-1 victory to Liverpool, and there's been a 1-1 in there. There's also been in the last 6, funny enough, a 2-0 victory to us, but I can't see a Liverpool victory here. At the moment, Salah is my captain. At the moment, I just think that I'm just more concerned about the Manchester City rotation rather than anything. Plus, I've got a transfer in mind where my captaincy may change, but we'll go on to that in a minute. So, yeah, sorry, Dan, Burnley versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Palace, they absolutely battered you yesterday. I can't believe Origi's still playing for Liverpool, by the way. I didn't even know he still played. I mean, talk about a player coming back from the dead to win a game, win a Merseyside derby. That's incredible. But, but I mean, Joe Hart's been playing well this season, but he's still, you could let in so many shots on goal. You can't save them all. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool, actually. I think Liverpool it'll just be a professional win. So I don't think they'll go too mad, but yeah.
What do you think, Jason, of Liverpool against us? Think there's going to be any rotation to the defence? Maybe even Salah dropped, and it could be Shaqiri coming in.
Yeah, I was mentioned in chat a minute ago. I read someone's opinion. I can't remember who it was. I can't scroll up now, but it was potential from a Moreno coming in for a tired Robertson. That wouldn't surprise me. Who knows the trend?
Perfect fixture.
Yeah, it would be a good fixture to rest. And by the way, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but there was an assist given to Van Dijk of Liverpool in that game. So anyone that owned Van Dijk, well done to you. Origi essential, says Brett Mollison in chat. Everyone. Notorious Nerd says Origi hat trick against your team, Burnley. I mean, it could be it. The bandwagon started. You heard it here, folks.
Back.
Vince Chapman says Sterling will be rested versus Everton and Sane versus Chelsea. I have it. So are you got you friends with Pep? Are you? Has he told you that? It's like I mean, it's one of those where you just don't know. Some people have got like this sort of thing, like every 5 games or something. Someone said in the last stream, but it was like he rests Sterling every 5 games and Sane every 7 or something. I don't know what it was. I haven't delved into the stats, even if there are any, to be honest with you, because I don't think that's indicative of what's going to happen going forward. I just think it's so congested at the moment that you could throw names into the hat and pull out any of them, and they got a good enough chance as any to get you returns for Man City. Did you ask me a question? I can't remember now.
Yeah, it was just a thought on really this result, Burnley versus Liverpool, and if you think Salah's got a good chance of doing some damage or not.
But if he does do some damage, then I'm left with that awkward. Well, I want to get rid of him, but he's just got 2 goals. Probably still want to get rid of him, but I don't know. We'll see.
So on to another history suggests high-scoring game. It's Fulham versus Leicester. Bit of an emotional time for Ranieri to go. He's not going to Leicester. Leicester's coming to Fulham. I think they'll cancel each other out. I think they're going to have a little arrangement where it's going to be, come on, you do us a favour, we'll do you a favour. I think it's going to be 0-0 or 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1. Wouldn't surprise me if it was 0-0. It'd be the first clean sheet Ranieri gets, and Fulham keep getting the managers and teams mixed up. I think it'll be Fulham's first clean sheet of the season. History, though, is going with a 3-2 victory to Fulham here. There's been 27 goals scored in the last 6, 2 of which have been 4-3. There's been a 3-2 in there. There's also been a 2-2. So a high-scoring game. Could be a high-scoring game with Fulham's absolutely shambolic defence. Leicester, not recently, but as Dan alluded to, battered Watford yesterday. So, Dan, Fulham versus Leicester.
Tough game to call.
Yeah.
I mean, Fulham lost to Chelsea today, but I don't think many people expected them to get much of a result there. Won the last game 3-2, but Leicester's defense has been good. I'm going to sit on the fence, I'm afraid. I'm going to go 1-1.
So, it's the Elite FPL Derby up next. It's Jason's Man United versus Dan's Arsenal. I'm going with a draw. I'm going with a high-scoring 2-2. I just think that Emre's done something to Arsenal which is making them feel like they're invincible. I'm sure Dan can add more to this, but this is just my own personal opinion. There's just something about them where they're growing with confidence, and that victory today, wow, what a morale booster that's going to be, especially ahead of this match, which Arsenal don't like to play in. History's going with a 2-1 victory to United. Of the last 6 fixtures, United have won 3, and there's only been 1 draw in this. So I don't know which other one of you want to kick off first, but yeah, we'll start with Dan to go with the score. But
yeah. I mean, today has just been that result. Today, I'm over the moon. I didn't really care about FPL during that game, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I said, there's more bite, there's more fight. We're now 20 games unbeaten, but we've got a terrible record at Old Trafford in the league. The last time we won in the league at Old Trafford, Emmanuel Adebayor scored in, I think it was 2000. I'm pretty sure it was 2006. So that's a bloody long time ago. The last time we won was in the FA Cup. I'm always worried about going to United, even though we're playing really well and United are playing terrible. I just have this feeling that Fug, Fellaini and Matic, the two henchmen, are going to be there for United. But we got Torreira, Xhaka. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. But if you were going to say to me at the start of the week, we'll beat Tottenham, we'll draw at Old Trafford, I'd be quite happy with that, to be fair. So yeah, but it would be so sweet if we won and Mourinho got the sack. I'd just be so happy with that. Well, I suppose United fans would be quite happy with that as well, to be fair. But Mourinho keeps getting up, off the ring like Tyson Fury in the 12th round. He keeps surviving somehow. So yeah, 1-1.
Jason, any thoughts ahead of this game?
Wow, what can I say, Dan? I think
we might not be speaking next week.
Mourinho, please play Martial. Just play him. Start him. Well, he will. He will. I mean, if he doesn't, then I know nothing about football. But he will start. And I can see Martial getting in with some chances. I think he might get that elusive goal or two that seems to be evading him since I've got him into my team. In terms of a result, I can see goals for both teams. United's defence, if you can call them that. Arsenal, not exactly the most amazing at defending either. So I can see goals for both teams. Maybe even I reckon 3-2 to United. Martial with a brace. There we go. Fellaini back post in the 92nd minute to win for United. Take that to the bank.
Could be Fellaini.
So the final game of this midweek is Tottenham versus Southampton. I think Tottenham couldn't have chosen a better fixture after losing today. Southampton, well, again, I think we're now bottom of the table. Is that right? Yeah. So they're above us because of that one simple draw again against United. But so yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-0 Tottenham victory here. History's going 4-1. This is another high-scoring history game here. 22 goals being involved in this fixture, and Tottenham like to score them. 15 of them have come in Tottenham's favour here. So the history's going to go with a 4-1 victory. Dan, Tottenham versus Southampton, mate.
Yeah, got to say something nice about Tottenham, I suppose. Good result for Southampton yesterday. I mean, they went 2-0 up. Played well, but then United come right back into it, and it's just not really their season. So I think, yeah, Tottenham will sort of get themselves together, pick themselves back up, realise that they're not ever be better than Arsenal, and I think they'll win 2-0. But it's that whole thing of whether to get Kane in or not. With those, I mean, the fixtures. Sounds really sad saying this. I was actually thinking about my next transfers last night after I watched Match Today, and I was looking at Tottenham's fixtures, even in to early February, and I was like, wow, there's some really good fixtures. So, Eriksen got an assist today, and he got an assist last game week, and he got a goal in the Champions League match, of course, so his confidence is sky high. So, going to need to get some Tottenham coverage in, unfortunately. But, yeah, interesting dilemma.
Well, before we go on previewing the game week, who do you reckon your dead cert bet's going to be? Is it going to be Liverpool, City? Which one? Chelsea?
Yeah, I'm going to go City, actually, to be fair. Just because Burnley, they beat Liverpool 2-0 last season?
No. It was like in 2013 or something, 14 or whatever it was. Years ago, basically.
You sure?
We drew 1-1.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go for Man City because the way they're playing this season and their record against Watford, and Watford are pony at the moment. So yeah, that's what my prediction.
Well,
really pulling the rabbit out of the hat there, Dan.
Perfectly into what we're going to be doing with our teams. Come straight to you, Jason. Any transfer thoughts in mind? You've already mentioned your captaincy. Remind us what that is. Yeah. Well, how are you set up for this game week?
How am I set up for this game week? Have I set it up? Pretty much. Yeah, so I've gone, obviously, with Fabianski. He's got Cardiff at home. I'm confident he could get me some points in that game. Back three of Wolves. Against Wolves, I've got Alonso, Wan-Bissaka against Brighton, and Alexander-Arnold away at Burnley. Come on, Alexander's free kick. Funny enough, since he took that free kick in that game, he didn't take any of us after that. It was kind of like, come on. But Sterling, captain, is going to be what he's on at the moment, and it's probably going to be what it's going to be. Martial, Arsenal at home. Now that's going to be an interesting one.
Sorry to interject, Jason. Okay, so you just mentioned Sterling as captain. We've also discussed briefly the rotation thing. Who would be your vice, Aguero or Salah?
Salah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, stung once. If I get stung with a City rotation, then I don't want to have a vice captain that could be also a rotation. So I'm going to have vice captain on Salah, and good old David Silva there as well to fill the third City spot. I've got no City defenders, so Wilson up front, Huddersfield at home. Happy with that. Mitrovic, good easy sneaker goal against at home again to Leicester. That's actually looking quite good, my team. I'm really actually quite happy with it. My bench, on the other hand, isn't so great. So if we have another repeat where bench players are gonna factor in, Bennett, Chelsea, Tottenham away for Cedric and Højbjerg. So yeah, I'm hoping that I get a full 11 start. It's at the moment I'm not convinced that Sterling's going to feature for the whole game. So I might brick it and just put the captaincy on Salah before Tuesday. So yeah, that's my team, and unfortunately we can't see yours because I haven't got access to your login details. So I've just given away my team selection for Tuesday.
I have 2 free transfers, and my original thought process was to get rid of Aguero and get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold and bring in Harry Kane and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Changed now after today's games. I'm actually thinking, and then if I was to bring in Harry Kane, I'd captain him against Southampton. I think potentially, I'm thinking he may even get a hat-trick against Southampton. Am I right in saying you got a hat-trick against them quite recently, Dan? Are you up to, or am I going mad here? Maybe last year, maybe someone in the chat.
Yeah, possibly at Wembley. No, I think I'd say I'm 80% confident that he did. And then obviously you've got Leicester coming up after that as well. He's got a good record against Leicester, so I can see you thinking your logic there. So that's bloody tempting.
Yeah, so that was my original plan. Now it's a case of, do I listen to my own advice? However, since today happened, I'm now seriously considering bringing in Aubameyang. The problem is that he's got United away, and I don't think he's going to do much against them.
He'll score.
It could, well, yeah. You never know, Dan. I don't know. I don't have a clue. But I personally don't think. I think it's a tough fixture. I think Aguero's got a better fixture than Aubameyang. That's what I'm looking at from that point of view. So I don't really want to waste a transfer on downgrading Aguero for a player that's got a tougher fixture for obvious reasons. However, if I did do that, it means then that I don't have to get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I can get rid of some of my deadwood in my team, being Gudmundsson. Of all my differential players, he is the one which is just doing absolutely nothing, and I'm kind of a bit sick of it. But at his price range, not many players in his area which are bringing in that many points. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research on that. But I am going to be using both free transfers. I personally think I'm going to do Aguero out, Trent Alexander out for Wan-Bissaka and Kane. And I'll probably captain Kane. Jason's shaking his head there. Hang on. Why are you shaking your head?
People saying in chat.
What are the people saying in chat? So Notorious Nerd saying he's going to captain. Oh, in regards to this, got nobody at the moment. What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon it's a good move to get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Aguero at the moment for Harry Kane get rid of Aguero and Trent Alexander-Arnold in place of Wan-Bissaka and Harry Kane? I mean, I don't like it. Fixtures wise,
why not?
No one said anything. Say something, guys.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think Aguero is going to play majority, if not all, of the game on Tuesday. And I can't see Alexander-Arnold being benched. I see Robertson being benched. And I just
even though there's a lot of history. Well, actually, ironically, there's not. But
I mean, it's just
the fact that Gomez and Lovren are back, and there's possibility of fighting for positions over there, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's a lot of rotation risk there, whereas Robertson hasn't got as much.
I guess it's just the enabler to get Kane in, isn't it? That's why you have to downgrade. I mean, it's one of those where, I would even. How much is Kiko Firmino? How much is he worth?
I've already got.
Yeah, no, but how much is he actually worth to sell?
He's 4.2.
4.2. I would. How much do you need to get Kane?
12. He's 12.3.
So yeah, but how much do you need when you get rid of Aguero? How much in your bank?
Oh, I don't. I'd be like something like -7.
So you can't do a downgrade from Firmino to say like a Peltier or something, 3.8. I mean, I have a non-playing sub. I know it's crazy with the fixtures and everything, but I don't know.
I haven't heard that, but now you've got me thinking. Possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. You've got a strong team, to be fair. It's your bench is really strong. Goodmanson obviously isn't going to be a good pick this next week, but I'd imagine he'll be on your bench. Can't see you playing him. I don't know. I mean, do the move. I mean, it's your gut. I mean, it's just my initial reaction was to get Kane in as well for game week 15. But now I'm a little bit more like I'm standing back from the herd that's passing me by. That's all going and clambering onto Harry Kane, and I agree. His fixtures and Tottenham's fixtures, I mean, Dan's just alluded to, are very good. However, I think it's still wait and see for Harry Kane at the moment, and especially Aguero. I can see him getting the minutes, and it wouldn't be a surprise if he was to get like 2 or 3 goals. The thing is, all you got to ask is what's Kane's ceiling compared to Aguero's. Like everyone talks about this ceiling, and I think it's really good to consider. Is that the goal ceiling for Man City right now is maybe 2 to 3 times that of Tottenham if you look at the average so far this season. So I would be more. I mean, this is if Aguero is fit to play, of course, which is another thing which we have to consider. I would just maybe wait, maybe not do the moves. I mean, I don't know about price rises and things like that. I don't know where Kane is. I don't know where Kane is, but if you might be forced to do the move and it could pay off. But just think long and hard. I mean, you will anyway. You will think long and hard about it. But you're getting rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold. There is a possibility. There's a small possibility he'll be rested, and you got Aguero, and there's a strong chance he'll play against the Harry Kane, who is pretty much nailed for Tottenham, pretty much rain or shine.
Yes.
And a Wan-Bissaka, who is pretty much nailed for Crystal Palace, but just playing in a worse team than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So yeah, I can see your point, and I would probably try and just mull it over for at least for the next few hours before making any decision. And if there is going to be price rises, then you might have to make that decision sooner.
Yes.
Brett Morrison. Sorry, you asked about it, guys in chat. So the guys in chat are actually talking about it now. Trent is too good at the moment, says Vince Chapman. Notorious Nerd says Kane's worth a 1 week punt. Now I don't think it's wise getting him for 1 week, especially. No. I mean it's a big change to get him in for 1 week and then to get him out again. if you bring in Kane, you must captain him. That's a brilliant. Are you thinking of captaining Kane?
Yeah, I did say if I was to bring him in, I would captain.
Oh, apologies, I didn't hear that. That's cool. Okay, so that might be. Not convinced on Kane. I'd rather Laka or Aubameyang. Both have good fixtures too and cheaper, says Brett Mollison. When Spurs score, Kane is usually involved. When City score, their goals are usually shared. That is another great point. Mika, very good point there.
That's a good point.
Trent Alexander-Arnold is apparently going to go up in price. Maybe that's something to also think about. Because I can see you probably wanting to get him back in your team. I know you got Robertson anyway. It all depends if you want to keep with the Liverpool double up, because they are getting the points at the moment. And also, Dejan Checo says in chat that Kane has pretty much guaranteed got 90 minutes. So that's another great point.
Any thoughts, Dan, ahead of for your team? Any transfer thoughts? Anything? Captain choice?
Well, you always say that I never learned from taking my 4-point hit. I didn't make any transfers this game week around, and it actually worked out really well. I just changed my formation. But it's this whole, even doing this podcast, it's this whole rotation thing and this risk and everything else that's now playing on my mind. And I've got a similar conundrum to yourself in the fact that, I've got Aguero, Arnautovic and Glenn Murray. I'm quite happy with my midfield, but yeah, I'm in that debate as well. But it is a great point made by Mickey in chat about Kane is going to play every game, because they haven't really got Llorente, but he's not really done that particularly that well since he moved from Swansea. So you kind of guaranteed that time in the fixtures they've got as well. But then Aguero, I think last season he got quite a few goals against Watford, and Man City have got a good record. Then Aguero's got this potential to explode, like he did against Newcastle earlier in the season. And if you miss out on that, then, I haven't got the luxury of missing out on that, really. So, going to look at the press conferences and wait a little bit. But, yeah.
Sorry to make this silly point, but it's just true. I just realised that when I was doing the history for Aguero against Bournemouth, I mentioned the fact that of the last 6 fixtures, he's only been involved in 4 of the games, and 2 of them he only made a sub appearance, and he didn't even play yesterday. There must be something going on there where Aguero doesn't seem to want to play Bournemouth, weirdly. But I've completely got a complete thing there. But
yeah, maybe you went. Maybe he went on holiday there once and he doesn't want to upset the people. I don't know. There's a wild conspiracy theory for you as it go. But yeah, Carlson's kind of like last chance saloon for him as well, because he didn't do anything at home to Cardiff.
Maybe are you able to potentially do it's not even a sideways move. I think it's a good move. Maybe bring in Sigurdsson instead of having Richarlison.
How much is Sigurdsson though? Because I've got literally 0.2 million in the bank.
7.4.
He's 7.4, is he? All right. Okay.
I think he's 7.4. Yeah.
So
but you got 2 free transfers, so you could downgrade another player in your team to upgrade Richarlison to Sigurdsson.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I've got Laporte in there, but I think he'll get a clean sheet bonus points on. In midweek against Watford. So it's a bit. I mean, obviously I've got Sterling, Guerrero that I'm gonna probably keep in. I don't know. I've got to get rid of Pereira somehow. He's just been in there too long, and the last 2 games I've seen him miss 1-on-1. So I've got to get rid of him somehow. But I've also got to upgrade my strike.
I actually like your team. It's got a good balance in it, Dan. I think maybe 1 or 2 things you might need to sort out going forward, but you've got a strong team pretty much all the way through, apart from Rico. Who on earth would recommend him?
I knew you were gonna... your great tip to bring in my mate Rico that never plays and never been seen at the stadium.
Yeah, you still got him there, mate. It's nice that you've still honoured him with the 3rd place bench spot.
I've got to respect him, but I've got more pressing issues, as you said. I mean, I've got Doherty and Trent Alexander-Arnold, 2 very attacking fullbacks at a good price. So that gives me a nice balance. And Schmeichel's been doing well with these clean sheets recently. They're probably letting goals against Fulham now. I've said that. So there's a bit of a nice balance to it. But it was just so frustrating yesterday. Guerrero not playing and Glenn Murray. I was watching Match of the Day and I was like, "Where's Glenn Murray? Where's Glenn Murray?
We've got.
Am I going? You know." So it's frustrating.
Yeah, but he's been doing really well, Glenn Murray. I mean, for his price, he's been amazing. We've got a celebrity in chat. Well, a self-proclaimed high riser. He's 200 in the world apparently. Up to top 200. He's in the top 200 overall. Now, Jack, if that's true, Jack, you want to give us your thoughts on Harry Kane and where you stand with him? And I think he's actually just said that the big decision this week whether to go for Aubameyang or Kane. Now, so he's got the same dilemma. He's already thinking that conundrum already. But welcome, Jack.
Aubameyang, you'll know, Dan. He's now the top goal scorer in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, both
10 goals.
I think it is. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but that second goal today was brilliant. And yeah, he's just pure goal scorer, man. That's just brilliant.
As an Arsenal fan, do you think he's back to the days of what he was like with Borussia Dortmund?
I think he has been since. Just as good. I mean, he had a great record for Borussia Dortmund over the years, and he was always a player that I sort of watched. And when we signed him, I was just, really happy about it. And he's been since January. He has been scoring consistently. Sometimes he does. When they've put him out on the wing, he does drift in and out of games quite a bit. And sometimes he'll be anonymous, but he scores. He just is the timing of his runs and everything else, and it just seems to the game seems to come easy to him. And he just always got a smile on his face and plays with a bit of swagger. And definitely. Long may it continue.
I think, Dan. I think, as I always say, if nobody's in the chat, anything to say, I think that could wrap it all up, man.
Yeah, I think so, guys. Just want to say first and foremost, I think we hit 25 viewers. We're on 24 viewers right now, which is massively higher than what we normally get in our streams. We've spruced it up this week, as you can see. We've got a bit better audio, video quality, and a nice fancy overlay. Let us know your thoughts on that, guys. Always looking to try and improve the stream. We've got an elite FPL podcast league that is just like our fun league that we do. We're in a serious league, me, Dan, and Steve-O. It's a cash league. We're very competitive over that. But if you are wanting to join us in that league, you feel free. The code's on the screen. Jump on in. And Jack, if you do join, I will no longer be top. So, think very long and careful. Don't want to be dethroning me. But yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for your support and your comments. I mean, it's nice to read your thoughts and your opinions. It also, I mean, like I said earlier on, there's no magic answer that any one of us can give, and it's always good to get that feedback and thoughts from other FPL managers, especially people as high as the top 200. Dan, have you got anything you want to say?
Just to say thanks to you, mate, for all your hard work this weekend, for making everything better with the screen overlay. And I call Jay the tech wizard because I don't really know how he does it. Well, I do know how he does this stuff, but I haven't got a clue how to do it myself. So, just to say thanks for that, and I hope everyone's enjoyed seeing our teams on the screen, and been really good to hear people's comments and helpful thoughts in the live chat as well. So, look forward to seeing everyone next time as well. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment, and please subscribe to us as well. And obviously give us any feedback about the channel. That'll be always most welcome. And you can also connect with us on Instagram. So just search for Elite FPL. And we do videos during the week. We just get stuff off our chest about, Aguero's not playing or predicting the score. So you can connect with us on there and keep up to date as to when the next podcast will be. Hope you enjoyed your football. I certainly enjoyed mine. And look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Thank you.